Okay, from here starts the speaking test. This is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place in Ross IELTS Academy. The candidate is Shahram Gaffarpour, candidate number 0143273. The examiner is Mehnoush Hafi, examiner number 443523. Good afternoon. My name is Mehnoush Hafi. Would you please tell me your full name?
Good afternoon. My full name is Shahram Gaffarpour.
And what can I call you? What can I call you as your name? Can I call you Shahram?
Yes,
Okay, very good. And can I see your identification, please? Thank you very much. Great. Here you go. Okay, we can start with the first part of the exam. In the first part, I will ask you some personal questions. First, I would like to ask about studying. What did you study?
I study English these days because I decide to immigrate to Canada in future.
Okay, and why did you choose English and not another language?
Because English is international and easier than other language.
Okay, and is it a popular language in your country?
In my country, popular language is English, and then Turkish and Spanish.
Okay, very good. And if you had the chance, would you choose another language to learn?
Uh, uh, in future, I will learn Spanish because I'm interested in it.
Very good, perfect. Now let's move on to talk about flowers. Do you like flowers?
Yes, like all people, I like the flowers.
Okay, and what is your favorite flower?
My favorite flowers is uh, rose
Why?
rose flowers
Why rose?
because very beautiful and uh, very beautiful and
Okay, and when was the last time that you gave someone flowers?
uh, can you can you question please? Can you
Yes,
repeat
yes, I
please?
can repeat my question. When was the last time that you gave someone flowers?
Привет! Я сдала IELTS на 7,5 баллов и уехала учиться в Италию. Хочешь также подготовиться и с первого раза?
Uh, I give I gave I gave a flower to my mother in birthday in your in her birthday her birthday.
Okay, very good. Now let's talk about food. What's your favorite food?
My favorite foods for example korma sabzi, kıyma and easy.
Okay, and have you always liked the same food?
Uh, no. Uh, uh, sometimes I eat sometimes I eat pizza and hamburger and the other food.
Okay, thank you very much. We are done with the first part of the exam and now we can move on to the second part. In the second part, I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about this topic for 2 minutes. But before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now I give you your cue card and a piece of paper and a pencil for you to make notes. So here is your cue card.
Thank you.
Here's the pen. And here you go with the paper. Now, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and it starts now. Okay, your 1 minute is over, and please hand me the cue card. Thank you very much. Now, you will have 2 minutes to talk about this topic, and it starts now.
Mm. In the last week, I get up, I get up earlier than before because I have so work in my company, and I should go to I should go to the projects company, and I should call to some of the customers company, and one of the company's employee was with me, and we go to company's projects and visited to it. Actually, it takes. I woke up.
Okay, thank you very much. We are done with this part, and your 2 minutes is over. Now we can move on to the third part, and please give me your paper and pencil. Thank you very much. Great. Okay, we've been talking about the time that you got up early, and now I would like to ask you some questions related to this. First, let's consider sleeping. What effect would sleeping late have on one's life?
Repeat, please, teacher.
Yes, I can repeat my question. What effect would sleeping late have on one's life?
Um,
Okay,
Repeat.
I can ask you the question once again. What effect do you think
Fact.
sleeping late, what effect do you think sleeping late have on one's life?
Uh, I usually uh, sleep early. Um, for example, I slept uh, to I slept 11 or 11 to 12 o'clock
Okay.
at night. Uh, so I don't.
Okay. And what time do people usually go to bed in your country?
What time?
What time do people usually go to bed in your country?
Other country.
In your country.
In my country, my people in my country, my people usually slept uh, 12
Mm-hmm.
o'clock
Okay.
midnight.
And how about you? What time do you go to bed at nights?
Uh, as say uh, as
Mm-hmm.
as told you, I slept. I always slept. I always slept 11 to 12.
Okay, very good. Now let's talk about getting up early. What do you think are the benefits of getting up early?
Repeat, please.
Yes. What do you think are the benefits of getting up early?
I think when I uh, wake up early,
Mm-hmm.
we arrive to work uh, um, on time,
Mm-hmm.
and
And why is that? Why can you arrive on time or earlier when you change the time of waking up in the morning? Why?
mm, because we have uh, much more than time uh, uh, to um, much more than time
Mm-hmm.
to uh, last days.
Okay. Okay, and do you think old people find it easier to get up early than young people?
I think old people
Mm-hmm.
uh, old people should sleep sleep
Mm-hmm.
a lot uh, 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 to young people
Why is that?
because old people have uh, have have
Mm-hmm.
much more age, uh, uh, and they they
When you go out to eat at an expensive restaurant with your friends or family, what do you say when everyone is finished eating?
and they uh, and uh, they are tired, so tired,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay, very good.
too young.
Thank you very much. We are done with your speaking test, and for now, you can just relax. This is the end, and great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good. So let's see what a score you get in each criteria. But before I start, I would like to know what you think of your performance. How how do you think you answered the questions?
Um, I think mm, I answered to question um, average.
Average? Okay. Okay, good. So, I can start with the first criteria, which is your fluency and coherence. Generally, I can say that you are able to answer the questions. At some point, like in some questions, it was a little hard for you to answer or to understand what I'm asking you to talk about, but you did a great job. Thank you very much. First, I would like to start with your fluency and your coherence. I would say that in part one, two, and three, you were struggling to give me an answer. And at times, you had some hesitations and pauses, like you were pausing to think about what word or what grammatical structure you want to use. So it was not actually context related, it was language related. So that's something maybe you should work on. So because of your hesitations, because of your self-correction and self-repetition, well, maybe it can just mark you down. So that's something you should work on. And also, you were really trying to use some connectives. Like, for example, I could hear so, but, because, and also some discourse markers or even some words like I think, actually. So these are very good words to use. If you're able to use like these simple connectives, you can get a 5 in your fluency. But if you can just use a wider range of those, for example, also or however, besides, add some more connectives to that, then you can get a 6 in your fluency and coherence. Now let's talk about your vocabulary, the use of vocabulary or your lexical resource. I can say that as I was talking about getting up early, you tried to use some related words to this topic, but the thing is that you didn't use a very wide range of words related to the topic, and you had some mistakes using these words. And my recommendation for you, Shahram, is to paraphrase more. Like when I ask you a question, do not copy the exact same words that I'm using. Try to use some synonyms. For example, if I say, what time do people usually go to bed in your country? You can say, for example, people in my country sleep at 10 o'clock instead of go to bed. Or they go to sleep, they go to bed, they sleep, right? These are the paraphrase form of the words. These are the synonyms. So try to use to have a better paraphrasing of the questions that can really help you to boost your score. Now, let's talk about your grammatical range and accuracy. As I was listening to you in part 1, 2, and 3, you were able to use simple structures like short sentences using and or even but or because to link up your sentences. But generally, when you were trying to make some more complex structures, you were kind of struggling and you made mistakes with those. So you're fine with simple structures, but I couldn't really hear conditional sentences or subordinate clauses, and maybe you can work on that. So I would say you get another 4 in your grammar. My suggestion for you is to work a little on making some longer and more complex sentences and reduce your mistakes. It is much better to speak error-free. You know, some candidates try to use some very fancy words and structures to show off what they know, but that's totally wrong. Like you were okay, you were trying to be natural and use simple words, and whatever you were using, you were kind of sure about. That's a very good thing. But you can just try to maybe boost your score by working more on complex structures. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. Okay, in your pronunciation, I could see that I could totally understand what you were saying. So your own accent did not really have a very negative impact on your English pronunciation, but you had some lapses. I can say you had some lapses and some hesitations. Like, for example, you said customers. That's actually customer, to give you an example. And maybe you could link up some sounds. For example, I don't know, if you want to say half an hour, you can say half an hour. Link up some sounds and give a better intonation to your sentences. It was a little monotone, right? You can raise and lower your voice when you're talking to me. So because of that, I can say at times I had difficulties to understand like what you are going to say, and you had some lapses. Because of that, I can give you another 4 in your pronunciation. I would say what you can work on is to first of all work on your grammar, and then reduce your hesitations and self-correction and self-repetition you were saying all the time. Maybe instead you can use some fillers. For example, well, to talk about that, I can say, or to be honest, I can also add that. Use some fillers to buy some time. On the other hand, try to cover your 2 minutes by talking about all the bullet points in the cue card. Like you talked about the first one, when it happened, the time you got up early, why you got up, who you were with, but how you felt about getting up early, you didn't really cover that. You didn't explain much about that. So make sure to cover all the bullet points and then go on with some other related things to the topic or going off the topic. You have got time, you can work on your English and the techniques, and the next time you're back, you will absolutely get a better score. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.